I've spent the last 6 years in the corporate sector, so I believe that some of the things that I'm going to share with you today will be actually useful to you. But first, our topic today is how to stand out in a highly competitive workspace. So whether you are working in a multinational organization, an FMCG, or in a tech company, and you see that the environment is competitive. And when I mean competitive, people are doing stuff. Every day there are announcements, this person just did this person just achieved this, and you're wondering how you can also get to that level. That is what we're going to be talking about today. My name is Ogoigbe once again. I lead an early stage marketing agency, and my handle is The Digital May. You can feel free to connect. Okay, now in the next 10 minutes, we will be touching base on these 5 points. How you can become a leader at work, communicating your values, going above and beyond, teaching others, and lastly, respect. I decided to include respect there because that is the foundational element for good relationships at work. You want to have colleagues at your side, you need to be able to respect them. Okay? Now, the first is how you can become a leader at work. What is leadership, right? This quote says, leadership is not about titles. Guys, it is not about you becoming a DevOps engineer. It's not about you becoming a startup founder. It's not about you becoming a product manager at a high, fast growth tech company. No. Leadership is about you influencing me. Leadership is about me influencing you. If I can influence you to make a change, then I have leadership traits. Am I communicating? If you can influence me to make a positive change, then you have leadership traits. So let's not think leadership is about title. That is a problem in this country today. People think I'm the boss, so I'm a leader. No. Not every startup founder has leadership traits, and that's the truth. People have vision, but they need other people to execute that vision. So, as a leader, or as someone who wants to become a leader at your workplace, at the office, you need to be able to influence somebody. Maybe it's your colleague sitting next to you. Maybe it's the receptionist. Maybe it's, the people who clean the office. There must be something that you are impacting into someone as a leader. So imagine this is you, right? You love your work. You're so passionate about your work. You wake up each morning. I mean, of course, as people in tech, there are times when we are tired and we don't want to do anything. But deep down, we love that work that we're doing, right? You take initiative. You don't wait for people to tell you what to do. You don't wait for your boss to send an email before you do something. You take initiative. That's you, right? You listen to feedback. Imagine this is you at the office now. You listen to feedback. You don't defend yourself every time a feedback is given. I told you something the other day. I said, the moment we start to see feedback as resourceful, we won't see it as an attack. People think feedback is attack. It's not supposed to be an attack. No. When people give you feedback, your job is to listen. And one reason why people have friction at work is because they don't listen to feedback. You're always defensive, right? So you listen to feedback, you offer to help people. That is another trait of a leader at work. There are people who are selfless servers. Like they offer to help people. Even though they have really busy schedule, they offer to help people. So that's you. You show empathy. There are times I've worked with people that are naturally slow. And some of us who are always, energetic, when you meet someone who is slow, you're just tired, like, why are you slow? But at the end of the day, you understand that this person is not operating in my level of frequency. So I have to understand. This person may not have the same educational background as I have. So again, I have to understand. Now that's empathy. You knowing that not everybody would operate at your frequency level. Not everybody. But you are kind enough to acknowledge that, okay, this person is still learning and is still growing. So this is you. Now, imagine you have all these traits. You know what this will transcend into? People will naturally want to gravitate towards you. It's a natural phenomenon. Look at the leaders of the world. You have all these traits. People will naturally want to come to you at your workplace. You didn't ask for them to come to you, but naturally they've identified that you love your work. They've identified that you take initiative. They've identified that you listen to feedback. They've identified that you are selfless, you help people. They've also identified that you show empathy. Naturally, they will come and surround you by themselves. They would want your opinion. They want to ask you questions. They are planning something in the sales department. They will come and meet you. Oh, this is what we're doing in our department. What do you think? Naturally, it just occurs because you have these traits and you display them at work. Are we communicating? Okay. Now, people start to surround you, right? At work, you show that you love your work, you show that you take initiative and all of that. They start to surround you. It is in that moment you need to make sure that you are communicating your values. Because the truth is, if you do not communicate your values, people's external values will start to rub off on you, right? Now, how do you communicate your values? Number one, consistency in work delivery. Now, as people are surrounding you, as people are coming towards you, you're gaining influence, right? You need to make sure that at work, you are communicating that your work level is 100%, and that's on period, right? Let them know, the people who are coming towards you now for opinions, for questions, that look, as much as you are now a leader and you offer to help people, work comes first. Secondly, you're communicating that you have better emotional control. Now, pressure is something that happens at the workplace. You'll agree with me, right? But how do you behave when you are under pressure? I've seen people that when they're under pressure, they are a different person entirely. They shout, they yell, they bang their hands on the table, But when you move from one level to another level in your leadership journey at work, you need to show that you are in control of your emotions. So whether you are having an argument with someone, you are in control of emotions, and that's a valuable trait that you also can communicate towards the people that surround you now. 3, strong decision making. Now, at the workplace, sometimes we get influenced to make certain decisions, right? But you should be able to communicate that, look, when I make a decision, I'm not influenced by anybody. I've checked and analyzed every situation, and this decision is basically on my own experience. You don't want to be someone that people have to influence you to make a decision. It's a wrong value. But when you are a strong decision maker by yourself, now that's a good value that you can communicate to people around you. Number 4, you are unbiased in conflict resolution. This is very important because the truth is, when you're starting to gain influence at work, there will be conflict between this department and your department. How do you resolve such issues? Are you always biased? Right? So this is something you should also communicate. Because of our time, I'm just pretty much going to rush this. Teaching and empowerment as well. I noticed that people hoard information a lot at work, right? People want to just, be on their space. But the truth is, if you want to be different in your workspace that is competitive, you need to leave your shell and teach people. Teach people in your department, your colleagues. And number 5, passion and commitment. This is my favorite, because when you're passionate about your work, people will notice in your workspace. They will know that you don't joke with your work. Now, moving on, we go to going above and beyond. Now, this is you, yeah? Everyone knows that you are supposed to give 100% output of your work. right? But there will be cases where you will be required to give more than what is expected. And when those cases come, don't turn your back. Give it. It is one way to really distinguish yourself in your office or in your workspace. Give it. It's not every time you will, but when those opportunities come where you have to go above and beyond, by all means, fly. It's one way to really, really differentiate yourself, because everyone thinks you're going to give the same output. Okay, this person 100%. Every time they know 100%. But when those opportunities come for you to really, really show yourself, please do so. The last part is teaching others. Now, I want you to see yourself as a resourceful person at work. I understand that we enjoy our private spaces when we're working, but please, one way that you can really distinguish yourself in an organization that is very competitive is to, take yourself out of your box and help your colleagues. Because it is these colleagues that will speak for you in closed doors. And that's the truth. When you're not there, it is your colleagues that will be telling your managers, this person helped me. I know she was very busy. I called her 11 p.m. in the night, and she picked my call, and she helped me with this report. Guys, this is very, very, very important. So don't feel like, you're just you in your workspace. No. Leave your comfort zone and start to teach your colleagues. Okay? And lastly, respect. Now, this is a quote that I love so much, and it says, treat people with courtesy, politeness, and kindness. Encourage your co-workers, that is your colleagues, to express opinions and ideas. Listen to what people have to say, right? Listen. I know you're good at your job. You're marvelous. But please take out time to always listen before expressing your viewpoints. Never speak over or interrupt another person. Listen, okay? And that is another foundational attribute to respect. Okay, so to end my presentation, I really hope I was able to really share some really nice things with you. In a workplace where everyone is doing the same thing, everyone comes into the office dragging their foods, there's no energy, no vibe, nothing. Please be what? Be different. Thank you.
All right, let's give it up for her. That's a wonderful section. All right, thank you very much for that talk.